Hello everyone, it's James from Theresa's Sound World. Now this is a little vlog about a solo artist who I've reviewed recently, who's based in Bristol, England, and goes by the name of Rollerhands. Rollerhands' real name is Mike Kingston, and he sent me the other day a couple of CDs. So here's one of them. Okay, and if I can find the other one, here's the other. So thank you very much for those, Mike. Most appreciated. It's always lovely to have solid copies of music. Now I'll go into those CDs in a minute, but just to say, yeah, it's just a thanks to Mike for sending me those. And it also gives anyone a chance who missed my review of Rollerhand's latest release to have a look at my review and click on a link as well within the review and have a listen to his music. After my hiatus, Rollerhands was one of the first reviews that I did. But anyway, how to describe Rollerhands' music? Well, it is from a solo artist who's mainly a guitarist but also plays other instruments and sings as well. But he often will get in other musicians to play different instruments like wind instruments or do spoken word passages. One of the sort of more long-time collaborators with Rollerhands is a drummer called Jesse Webb, who Mike, who is Rollerhands, has collaborated with over the years in one form or another, you know, in a band or in the sort of solo project, but guesting or maybe sort of helping to produce the music, that kind of thing. So it's sort of nice when you have a solo artist who then takes on board other very sort of creative musicians to kind of enhance his own work. So it's just a really nice way of producing music. So the album in question that I reviewed is called Sound of Diffusion. It's out on Bandcamp as a digital format and also as a nice CD as well. So if you look at my review, which is going to be the first link after this vlog, within the review there are links to the Rollerhands Bandcamp page, and if you click on the merchandise bar, the merch bar, you can get a CD copy of this still. So how to describe the sound? A mixture of sounds without wearing the influences on the sleeve too much, and this is something I talk about a lot. I really enjoy genre music, I really do. However, when an artist successfully melds everything together and almost creates their own sort of genre in its way, it's quite exciting. So I would say Rollerhands crosses elements of alternative rock, bands like Sonic Youth perhaps, and maybe old school garage rock like MC5 and the Stooges, but also with ambient music and dance music, electronica, acoustic music as well, psychedelic folk, for instance, and I thought as well more kind of more gentle, pastoral kind of folk as well. So there's a lot going on in there as well. You hear little elements of, say, I think I put in my review, sometimes certain songs made me think of sort of British indie of old, like you know, the baggy Manchester sort of music, where if you're not familiar with that genre, it was where bands like Happy Mondays and the Stone Roses, they combined guitar based sort of psychedelic indie rock with dance music. So there's those kind of melding sort of ideas. But what's really interesting about Rollerhands is you don't get this kind of thing where you think, oh well, this is the jazz tune, or this is the folky tune. It's there's a consistency to it, and it's sort of whereas, say, a traditional rock band, you might be watching them and think that's the ballad, that's the funky one, you know, that's their bomb track, that's the sort of party one. It's not really like that. It's very subtle, So you're not always able to sort of pinpoint things, but that's really good. And it's perhaps in the same way I remember an interview with Rage Against the Machine where they were saying, obviously we're inspired and influenced by bands like they were saying bands like Guns N' Roses and Metallica, I think they were quoting, but they were saying, we don't want anyone to think that's the Guns N' Roses bit or that's the Metallica bit or whatever. So it's very much like that. So it's very original sort of music, and I think you'll enjoy that sort of aspect of it. So this is the one, Sound of Diffusion. Apologies for the glare of the iPhone on the CD cover, but just so that you can see this as well from, if you're in a band and a kind of sort of industry standard you want. I'm really sort of into lo-fi kind of things for my own music and also for Theresa Soundwood. I mean, look at my stenciled 70s kind of made at home fake record. It's just, that's my thing. But if you want to really be of industry standard, have a look at this CD. It hasn't got that kind of stereotypical jeweled plastic case that you get with a lot of CDs where the whole sleeve gets ripped up and it's very irritating, isn't it? This is more done to resemble like a record sleeve, really, and it's like got some lovely artwork on. Look at it, it's fantastic. And also if you have a look at the CD itself as well, it's just done to a really high standard, and it's like with the other one that I've been sent as well. This is another album as well. It's got sort of fantastic artwork on. It's called The Final Age. It's even got, the sort of info on it. You can't really see there, but I think, if you're in a band, it's great to add the info. A lot of records here from the 90s done by tiny little bands and labels. I still don't even know where these bands and labels come from or how many people are in the band. It's sort of a bit frustrating. Can't even find them on the internet. So it's really nice, this kind of thing. And this is the CD, and look, it's done to resemble a little bit of vinyl. So I would say this is all sort of, like I say, industry standard design stuff. And it's also with Rollerhands, he's sort of including people he knows to help out with photography, design, all this kind of thing, production. So it is kind of homespun, but just done to a really high standard. But anyway, so if you click on the first link, and like I say, you get through to my recent review of Sound of Diffusion. Within that review is a link to Rollerhands Bandcamp, so you can listen to the music. I'm also going to include a second link as well, and that's a standalone track by Rollerhands, also from Bandcamp, but from almost 2 years ago. It's like from February 2019, a standalone track called Night Ends, and that's actually also on my Bandcamp collection, and that's this acoustic driven guitar kind of track. I think it's got some lovely little elements to it. I recommend that you check that out as well as the album. It's sort of nice as a separate little companion piece, or whatever you want to call it. It's got kind of maybe elements of acoustic elements of Primal Scream, perhaps. That kind of era between Source of Endless Secrets with Pink Floyd and Dark Side of the Moon, where they were playing around with the more sort of folky and experimental kind of aspect to their music. Maybe sort of more as well folky players like Nick Drake, and one of my favourites as well, psychedelic folk man Mark Fry. So it's got sort of all these little elements, and the production is fantastic. Like on anything that Rollerhands does, it's absolutely brilliant production. So have a listen to that as well. So anyway, so click on the first link, review an album. Second link, the solitary track I've just said about. And again, once again, thank you very much to Mike from Rollerhands for these lovely CDs. I've been listening to them as well, and yeah, it's just fantastic to have hard copies as well, because as you can see, I got just a few of my own. Anyway, thanks a lot for watching, everyone, and more reviews coming soon from Theresa's Sound World. Cheers for now.